Hey YouTube family, Happy New Year. It's Gina, also known as Gina versus Gina, also known as GVG, also known as GG, also known as Gina, also known as G, also known as all the things with G. How about that? And I answer to most of them. Anyway, guys, I wanted to come on and share some of my plans for the garden for 2025. So I am out in the garden. There's not much going on out here. I'm at the home garden, and I do have plans for both the home garden and the community garden. Um, so, my plan this garden season is actually very simple. Um, I I plan on doing this with a lot of things, so it's not even just with the garden, but with the garden, my goal is to produce with purpose. Y'all, it's looking dark and it's not dark here. Anyway, to produce with purpose. And what that means for me is I always grow what I know I'm going to eat. I try to grow something new every year to try, but everything else is stuff that I eat pretty regularly and things that I can preserve, and stuff like that. However, I will admit, every garden season, I don't really plan the preservation part. So I want to be more mindful in that, also with planting. So when I plant this year, I'm going to plant with purpose. I'm going to set up the beds. I'm going to choose the plants. I'm going to choose the amount of plants based on what I'm going to preserve and how I'm going to preserve it. And past, like this year, actually 2024, y'all know every time I'm doing a video, somebody. I grew a lot of tomatoes though. And the production on a lot of the vegetables, you get a lot of vegetables way before you can eat them, in quantities before you can eat them. So I end up freezing them so that later I can make sauces or whatever. So what I did is I took all of the tomatoes that I froze and I ended up making batches of pasta sauce. Well, what sparked this thought was I went to make chili for Christmas because my daughter requested me to make that for our Christmas dinner. And I had to go buy plain tomato sauce and tomato paste. And I'm like, I made a lot of jars of pasta sauce. I could have made some jars of other things. And I also had to buy diced tomatoes. So this year, I will keep that in mind when I am preserving. Actually, as I plant, I'm going to plant and plan out what I plan to do with those plants as they produce. So I'm going to estimate what I think production will be because I can estimate based on past years and plan what's going to be done with those produce. So for 2025, I will still do pasta sauce because I always need that because I make pasta. But I'm also going to preserve just diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, and just plain tomato sauce with nothing in it, and tomato paste, and maybe some other things, but I will plan that out. And the same thing will go for the peppers. In past, I like this 2024, y'all, those peppers, y'all know I have 50 something pepper plants. Peppers produce like crazy, like well into the fall. I diced up a lot of them and frozen, which is great because I cook with them. The sweet ones anyway, I do that with. I did dice a few of the hot ones, but most of the hot ones I will dehydrate or make sauces like a hot sauce with it. And this year, a lot of it just got dehydrated to make pepper flakes. I even I did make hot sauce this year. Made a great batch of hot sauce. It turned out really good. Um, but I don't. I grew so many varieties of hot peppers. I'm not doing that this coming season. I'm going to plan what I'm growing based on what I'm going to do with those peppers. So I'm not just going to have 20, 30 varieties of hot peppers in my garden. It's not happening this year. So produce with purpose. That is the plan. Another thing I'm going to do is, because I have been juicing lately, off and on, not consistent, but we may be, but I have been juicing. And I am going to dedicate at least two of my 4x4 beds to just produce that I use for juices. So celery, cucumber, kale, carrots, and anything else I can think of that I might put in juices. I have put beets in juices, but if I grow some, it's not going to be an abundance of it. Um, but think I actually eat juice and cook kale. I eat it raw and cooked, and I also juice kale. So kale will be in an abundance. I pickle cucumbers as well as eat them fresh and juice them. So cucumbers will be in abundance. And then the carrots, I like to eat those, and then I don't like them cooked, but I will eat them raw or juice them. And celery, same thing, unless I put them in soups. That's not true. If it's in a stew or a soup, I will eat carrots or celery, but typically I can just eat them raw or juice them. But again, they can go in soups. But I'm going to dedicate entire 2 4x4 beds to only foods that I'm going to grow for juicing. Okay? I haven't planned out every bed in the garden yet, but we'll get there, and I will share that as I start planning. But every bed, you're going to see like how it's laid out, and I'm going to show from beginning to end this year. I'm going to try to be a little more educating, I guess you can say, in my content. That way you could see the process of how things go in my garden, maybe for, especially for somebody who's in Ohio or in the same grow zone, or just somebody who likes to watch it, because I just like to watch that kind of content. I'm going to try to do that this year, because usually you'll just see I have plants and then you might see a harvest, and yeah, because y'all, it's work. So it's a lot of work bringing the camera out and setting up and doing the stuff, but I'm going to make a conscious effort to do so for you guys, to produce that within the content. But like I said, with the beds, there's going to be some uniformity in the setup of them. And we'll talk about it as I'm setting them up, because we're going to produce with purpose. That is what we're going to do. So as I set them up, I'm going to have there's going to be a dialogue to why that bed is set up the way it is, and what the plan and intent is for that. So yeah, and as you guys, if you're not familiar with my garden, I have 6 of these. So, well, 3 of them. They're actually 8x4s, but they have the metal thing to make them each side 4x4. And I have 6 of them. I have pots out here, as you can see. I have raised bed in the corner. That one has strawberries in it. I have blueberries over here. That's just stuff. Oh, that's a cherry tree right there. I have a couple of these. I have this one, and I have one here. This is comfrey that's died back. It'll come back. Don't you worry about it. It's all good. I have a smaller one. This is 4x2. These are 5x2. That has garlic and kale in it. I don't know if you can see the purple kale, but it is. It's still a little bit of chaos over here, but it's all good. Then I have my other trees, my cherry and, I gotta go that way, and my peach, the greenhouse. And then I have an apple over here, and I have another peach and another peach and apple on the other side on my patio. So that's just back here. There's another 5x2 bed on the side of the house, and then I think I have another 5x2, or I have 2 more beds that are not put together. I don't remember what size they are because one of them was a gift. They could be 4x2s or 5x2. Really doesn't matter. Because I planned on I got rid of one of these fabric 8 cells, and this one is going this year. So I will be getting rid of that. The only reason why I didn't go in 2024 is because I had stuff already growing in it, and we gonna let food grow. But this year it'll be gone before that can happen, and that's why there's a 4x2 there. So I have another one just like this, and then I think the other one, so there is another 4x2, and I don't know what size the other one is because it's a gift. It was a gift. So yeah, I have my tropicals in the greenhouse. That's the only thing in there right now. I will be starting seeds in there this year, and starting some different seeds, different plants in there. But like I said, everything is going to be with purpose. So we will get into that as I begin cleaning up, getting these beds prepped, and dropping plants in. But actually we'll drop seeds before that, because I like to start my seeds, have starts to put into the ground. But we will be like filling up the beds, because a lot of them have sunk as far as soil. But yeah, guys, that is the plan for this year. So I always grow foods that I'm going to eat, but I don't never First of all, I don't really like the way it came out. It sounded wrong. But I don't really think ahead to the full plan for preserving. I'll think in my head like, oh, well, I'm growing tomatoes, I can make salsa or pasta sauce or whatever, but I don't really plan it. So that's what I'm going to do this year. It's going to be a plan for everything that is produced in this garden and the community garden. And as I go over there and I take plants over there to plant, I will be sharing what the plan is, what the thought process is, how I'm going to preserve it. I'm going to give you a head start on knowing what I'm going to do with those plants when I'm planting them. So just like I told you, there's going to be 2 beds dedicated totally to juicing, just juicing. So even though I use those items for other things, like I said, I will eat fresh carrots, I'll put them in soups and stuff. I will eat celery, put it in soups and stuff, and juice it. I will eat kale and all that. Those are going to be for juicing. I will have other places that I will put the produce that I will just have to be able to eat from. I won't have as many plants of those because, of course, how they produce, I don't need multiple plants of the ones I'm going to eat on a daily basis, because you can't eat that much food. You just can't. Sometimes it all comes at you at once, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you like this video. I hope you like what I got planned for the year. And I hope you can take something from that and produce with purpose in your garden. So I will talk to you again, guys, soon. Have a great year. But I'll be talking to you after the year. I just hope everybody had a happy new year, getting into the new year. All right, guys. Peace.